last 2 weeks, the way you guys have played as an offensive line? I mean, I got to imagine you feel pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. I think last 2 games over 500 yards. So it's always great when you have that much yards. But you got to take care of business week in, week out, and we're over that. So you got to look forward to taking care of business this week against Virginia Tech.
What do you think's changed? I mean, as far as the mentality of you guys running, becoming such a good running team. I mean, you were running the football earlier in the year, but I mean, over 200 yards in 4 of your last 5 games, and it just seems like there's a much bigger commitment to the run.
Just Coach Whip came to us and told us we're going to run the ball when we want to run the ball, and as an offensive lineman, you take pride in running the ball. So we're real happy when he told us that, and he told us to get it done pretty much. In the last 2 games, I think Maryland, we came out, he told us we're going to run the ball 3 straight times. It's up to you guys to get it done. And I know Pat Hill and all the running backs, they want to run the ball. Like, they want to get carries. There's too much of them, so they definitely want to run the ball as much as possible and get as much yards as they can. So we're all excited to run the ball.
What was going on up there at Georgia Tech in the first series or 2? You guys weren't just running the ball, but it was like ridiculously easy. Obviously, you were doing something scheme-wise or had seen something because they adjusted to it after that a little bit.
Just everybody was on the same page. We came out there, everybody was doing their job and just taking care of their job. And that's what made us be able to be successful in that game.
Orlando, are you surprised what Chantrell is doing, starting and playing so well as a freshman?
Not really, like that kid, he's a smart kid. He's a big, physical, smart kid, I'm excited to see him play each and every week, He has better grades than I had as a freshman. I'm not really excited about that. So that means he's better than me. But he grasps the concept a little bit quicker than most guys. So I'm excited to see where that kid's going to be in 2 years.
How about Brandon Linder? I mean, he's kind of been, I know Chantrell's gotten all the attention, but this week he gets the Player of the Week and plays 4 different positions.
I got to applaud that kid. I don't know if I could play 4 different positions right now. I've been in the program. I know what everybody's supposed to do. And for a freshman to come in and do that, definitely putting a lot on his plate, and he's welcoming it to the coaches. So he's doing a great job, and I'm just happy that another person got ACC Player of the Week on this offensive line.
Pat Hill, he kind of seems like he looks at it as being a mini offensive lineman. Can you tell he really enjoys that role of blocking? And
yeah, Pat cracked his helmet.
Yeah,
that's good. I don't. You got to be doing a lot of great things to crack the helmet. I wish I could crack the helmet. But he's doing a good job, and I know he always comes and he sits with us and everything, like before the game we pray, and he comes in a circle with us, we pray, and he tells us we got to get the job done, and it's all up to us, and he really looks at he says a big skill person is a person that has no opportunity of getting the ball, and he thinks he has no opportunity, so he considers himself big skill all the way too.
I think the offensive line, more than any other position group on the team, has to really be in sync and work together. You guys have finally clicked. Can you talk about the development of the line and what's happened to make you do so?
It's just a lot going on. Guys get older, and, I never really got a chance to play with Harlan a lot since I've been here, but the chemistry gets there, like, towards the end of the season, because you know exactly what a person's thinking in a certain situation. And, Tyler could have played last year, so it definitely wasn't no problems with the calls. It's just the more games we played, the better the chemistry got.
And you've talked about the run protection, run blocking. How about pass protection with Stephen Morris? With Ja'Cory down, how important is it to make sure he doesn't get touched?
Well, as an offensive lineman, it's always important that your quarterback doesn't get touched, and you're going to try to do whatever it takes to not let your quarterback get touched, because you see what happened when Ja'Cory got touched. So it pretty much was a blow to the program. So every day we're just out there, and there's no one really else that could go in after Stephen. So we knew that, and we're just trying to take care of him. You try to joke around with him and try to get him to loosen up, because a year ago that kid was in high school.
And you talked about the freshmen after the last game, and you were worried about some of the younger guys maybe not being able to handle success very well. You said the older guys were going to talk to them.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I know that's always been a big problem since I've been here, at least. You win 2 games, and you think you're all this, all that. You start talking and stuff during dinner, and whatnot when we're on the road, and you don't really look at it as a business trip. But definitely, we're going to try to get after it this week, and going to try our hardest to get that W.
Does that continue this week with this message? I mean, you kind of have to do the same thing now with Virginia Tech, or do you think guys already know that?
No, especially with Virginia Tech. You got to stay focused this week. You got to take care of business. You got to do what you're supposed to do.
Your memories from last year's game in the rain?
That game makes me sick to my stomach. I think in the first half we had, minus 19 yards rushing. And I don't know the score on the game, but it definitely wasn't a good feeling.
Orlando, not to harp on the past, but just how far this offensive line has come. I mean, you look at last year's numbers, what you guys did as a unit, 36 sacks or whatever it was that you allowed, to where you are now, where you're pushing teams around so easily. I mean, does this startle you at all? How quickly maybe the progression, as an offensive line?
I think everybody that's on the same page, everybody that knows more about the whole offense and what we're trying to get done, and that we're watching a lot more film together as a group, and we just know exactly what each other's thinking. So the details there more. It's just a little bit more detail, and we're all on the same page with that.
What are the challenges of, Virginia Tech's going to bring everything at you? What are the challenges when you're facing a physical team like that?
It's always a good game every year. They're fast. That's one thing I could give them a compliment on. They're real fast, and I'm looking forward to playing J-Rod. I want them receivers to bomb J-Rod up because I went to high school with that kid, so it's gonna be exciting to play against guys that you went to high school with, and I think the backup quarterback went to my high school too. I never got an opportunity to play with him, but he was at my high school. So, but with Virginia Tech, it's always a fast game, and you always got to play pretty much for 60 minutes in that game.